Store A, public-private partnerships and task forces. 1. International public-private partnerships. The private sector has the human, financial, and technical resources to conduct cybercrime investigations and can assist national security agencies, law enforcement authorities, and other government agencies on cybercrime matters. In light of this, internationally, numerous public-private partnerships have been developed to enhance countries' capabilities to investigate cybercrime. A case in point is Interpol's Cyber Fusion Center, which includes both law enforcement and industry cyber experts who work together to provide actionable intelligence and share this intelligence with relevant stakeholders. Interpol. Trend Micro, a cybersecurity and defense company, Kaspersky, cybersecurity and antivirus provider, and other private companies that either work on cybercrime or cybersecurity-related matters, and/or are internet service and content providers or other internet companies, work closely with Interpol. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, also cooperates with allies in general and the European Union and the private industry in particular through its technical arrangement on cyber defense and NATO industry cyber partnership. 2. National Public-Private Partnerships, PPPs. Nationally Public-Private Partnerships, PPPs, have also been developed. In the United States, the National Cyber Forensics and Training Alliance brings together cybercrime subject matter experts from government, academia, and the private sector to detect, mitigate, and counter cybercrime, NCFTA. In Japan, a similar PPP to NCFTA was created, the Cybercrime Control Center. In Europe, the center partnership includes law enforcement agencies, academia, and the private sector. This PPP began with national centers in Ireland and France and expanded to include national centers in other countries. Greece, Spain, Belgium, Estonia, Lithuania, Bulgaria, and England have centers, cybercrime centers of excellence network for training, research, and education. 3. In addition to PPPs, national task forces have been created to assist in cybercrime investigations. These task forces enable law enforcement agencies of differing jurisdictions within countries, be it local, provincial, or federal national, to work together on cybercrime cases. These task forces, depending on the country and/or region, can also include members of academia and private companies and organizations. A case in point is the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Cyber Investigative Joint Task Force, NCIJF, which is comprised of partnering agencies from across law enforcement, the intelligence community, and the Department of Defense, with representatives who are co-located and work jointly to accomplish the organization's mission from a whole-of-government perspective. As a unique multi-agency cyber center, the NCIJTF has the primary responsibility to coordinate, integrate, and share information to support cyber threat investigations, supply and support intelligence analysis for community decision makers, and provide value to other ongoing efforts in the fight against the cyber threat to the nation. Other task forces have been created that deal with specific cybercrimes. For example, the Electronic Crimes Task Force, ECTE, a U.S. Secret Service task force, is responsible for the prevention, mitigation, detection, and investigation of cybercrimes, including those committed against financial payment systems and critical infrastructure. Pursuant to the Uniting and Strengthening America by Providing Appropriate Tools Required to Intercept and Obstruct Terrorism Act, USA Patriot Act of 2001, the U.S. Secret Service created a network of electronic crimes task forces, ECTFs, across the United States. These task forces work with local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, as well as other criminal justice agents, i.e. prosecutors, academia, and the private sector. A European Electronic Crime Task Force, EECTF, was created in 2009. The EECTF collects, analyses, and disseminates information about best practices. 4. Independent investigations of cybercrime. Although criminal justice agencies, national security agencies, the private sector, PPPs, and task forces are the major actors in conducting cybercrime investigations, independent investigations of cybercrime may also be conducted by civil society institutions, journalists, and the public. A case in point is Citizen Lab, whose published research includes investigating digital espionage against civil society, documenting internet filtering and other technologies and practices that impact freedom of expression online, analyzing privacy, security, and information controls of popular applications, and examining transparency and accountability mechanisms relevant to the relationship between corporations and state agencies regarding personal data and other surveillance activities. In addition, members of the public may offer unsolicited assistance to law enforcement by conducting their own independent investigations online. This was observed in the aftermath of the 2013 Boston bombings. Number 5. Outsourcing certain elements of cybercrime investigations. Moreover, certain elements of a cybercrime investigation can be and have been outsourced, e.g., the identification of illicit material online, to the public through an open call. This process is known as crowdsourcing. For example, Europol launched a crowdsourcing initiative to expand the search for the origin of child sexual abuse images to the general public. Since the start of the project on June 1st, 2017, more than 22,000 tips have been sent to Europol, which has already resulted in 8 children being identified and 1 offender arrested thanks to the help from ordinary citizens. Conclusion. There are many challenges to overcome cybercrimes successfully. To prevent such crimes, education and public awareness are necessary. Due to a lack of awareness about existing cybercrimes in Pakistani society, the general public is facing many problems. Even the law enforcement agencies are unaware of these crimes due to the complex nature of these crimes. Therefore, the proper understanding of such crimes is necessary to control them. Without knowing them, we cannot make adequate laws to punish the criminals. New tools for enforcing gambling laws on the internet are necessary, and to enact laws to prohibit wire transfers to internet gambling sites or the banks which represent such sites. Besides, online consumer protection legislation should be introduced to protect the online consumer and online business industry. Moreover, goods are not provided as per standard or not delivered. Consumer protection is also mandatory. Illegal purchase and sale of goods on the internet shall also be prohibited. The telecommunication industry is directly involved in providing services to the internet user, and data transmission is very fast. There is a dire need to get the information as early as possible for investigation purposes. However, if the telecommunication industry is not providing the latest data and details of it, then it will make it very difficult for law enforcement agencies, especially FIA, to investigate expeditiously. The problem is that many investigators have neither the requisite expertise nor the required experience to deal with investigation, evidence collection, evidence preservation, and presentation to the court. Therefore, the offender cannot be punished properly. Technology is constantly evolving, and investigating electronic crimes will always be difficult because of the ease of altering the data and the fact that transactions may be done anonymously. Due to alteration of data, the investigation of cybercrimes is very complicated as compared to manual crimes. However, by adopting the latest techniques, the complexity of the digital crime can be reduced.